From the East Side Center in East Peoria, Illinois, the Sunday Morning League regular season is coming down the stretch, and playoffs are starting to creep into sight for all these 9 teams here in the oldest amateur baseball league in America. Tonight, we have the Crusens Reds taking on the Kohl's Diamond Gallery Royals for you in our Clutch Sports Media Game of the Week. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Jonathan Michael here alongside Brock Alkire, and Brock, this is the final week of the regular season, and both these teams looking to gain some momentum here going into the playoffs as we're set to do battle tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one here. Crusens Reds are looking for another win, looking to improve to 13-10 on the season. We got Brandon Coates on the mound for the Reds, and this one, really good pitcher. For the Royals, we're going to see a veteran-led presence on the mound with Josh Caruso. It should be a fun one tonight.
Should be a good one. Again, the Royals are 7-15 on the year. Crusens 12-10. So Crusens looking for a top 4 playoff seed, and Kohl's just they're most likely entrenched in the number 8 spot. But again, trying to build some momentum here before the playoffs. Is leading off here today for the Royals is Dom Rosa, and that'll be another strike to him. Brandon Coates on the mound for the Reds. Been in the league for several years. Has a 1.05 ERA this year, so he's been coming along well. Rosa, the recent graduate of Midland High School up in Lake, grounds one to shortstop. Noah Funk goes across the diamond to Colton Allen, and that is the first out of the game. We'll bring you the Reds' defensive starters in the field. It's Zach Almaguer behind the dish today, forming the battery with Coates, then Colton Allen, Wyatt Pearson, Noah Funk, and then Ethan Heller over at third base, Owen LaRoe in left, Jamison Dickerson in center, Kelton Nafziger in right for the Reds. His first pitch swinging, this is Braden Ogden. This one is trickling near the foul line. It's a fair ball. This is going to be extra bases, and it will be a double there for Ogden to lead off.
Great piece of hitting there by Braden Ogden. Ogden has 16 RBIs on the season, batting .328. Has been a really good addition for the Kohl's Diamond Gallery Royals. So now they have a runner in scoring position to start the game.
And getting that spark early is so big, as we've seen in this league, which obviously, again, very pitching heavy, as Gil Pachard digs in here for Kohl's Diamond Gallery. We're in number 11. He's playing right field today. Recent graduate of Morton High School. Count now 1-1.
Kohl's trying to start the momentum, get up on top here early. As we said before, record of 7-15, so it'd be nice for them to get a win here tonight. Especially getting up on top here in the top of the first inning.
Here's the pitch from Coates. This one is popped straight up, coming our direction, but might stay in play. Almaguer looking for it and has it. That's a nice play with the sun right there in his face, but he's got those tinted shades on, made it a lot easier. So 2 down here for the Reds at the top of the first.
Great play right there, locating the ball in the sun. Tough play for the out. Now the Reds are just 1 out away from getting out of this, stranding Ogden at second base.
So here is Kleist. As Gavin Kleist specifically. Third baseman for the Royals. And cleanup here today. Kleist on the year hitting .366, 7 doubles, 8 RBIs. So one of the team's better hitters. That one is high and away, 2-0 the count.
Definitely a reason why he's in the 4 hole tonight. Drives guys in, gets base hits.
That is his main skill set, is his bat. So again, Ogden at second. Owen Rigg is on deck for Kohl's. The rest of their lineup, Mikey Dunn, Colin Delaire, Anson Zeiser, and Ryan Coker. That one fouled away and nearly hits his man on deck, Owen Rigg. Now even the count up at 2-2. Here's a pitch from Coates, slowing away, and we'll have a full count here. And Royals really would like to get something going on this righty for the Reds that has thrown 13 and a third innings, 18 strikeouts, and 11 walks coming into tonight. That one sails wide, and that's a walk to put 2 runners on for the Royals, and a big opportunity here now for Owen Rigg.
Owen Rigg coming to the plate. Runners at first and second now. Would really like a ball hit and play into the outfield. Big gap in right center for him. Big opportunity right here in the top of the first.
Kohl's as a team, their bats are not all that terrible, although they're not in the top half of the league, at least in runs scored. They scored 95 on the year. That ranks 6th out of 9 teams in the Peoria Sunday Morning League. However, their .265 batting average is 3rd. Pitch from Coates and swing and a miss there from Rigg. Rigg hitting .389 on the year, 1 double, 2 RBIs. Could double that total here. Nice pitch by Coates, sneaks in the back door.
Great pitch there by Coates. Now with 2 strikes, trying to put him away here.
Here's the 1-2 to the Royals left fielder. All right, number 28, swing and a miss, and ball bounces, but with first base occupied. Really no reason there for the drop 3rd strike, so that is 3 down in the top of the first. And the Royals put 2 runners on, but don't score. And a nice first inning there from Coates, surviving that double down the line from Ogden that maybe could have been a triple possibly, but nevertheless, the Royals do not score. So, Brock, we talked about, both these teams, again, with coming on the home stretch, just 2 games left in the regular season for both these squads, including tonight. So, Crusens is 12-10 on the year. As it stands right now, they are 4th in the league. So, if the playoffs ended today, they would face Weavers, the 5 seed in the first round. Kohl's they are 7-15, which is they are 8th in the PSML. They are 3.5 back of the next 2 closest teams, Brienzo's and Tin Lizards. So I'm doing the math in my head. I do not believe they can catch them. But I do not believe that the Move Smart Mariners, who are down in 9th, could catch Kohl. So if the math is mathing correctly, Move Smart could catch Kohl's, but they'd have to win out.
Yeah, for this league, since there are now 9 teams, the 8 and 9 seeds will have a play-in basically for the 8 seed. So it seems like those 2 teams are essentially locked in for the play-in. But something that I was looking up today, which is pretty insane. So as of right now, the 3 seed all the way down to the 7 seed, they're just 1.5 games from each other. I mean, it's really tight in the middle. A lot can happen this week, and a lot can change seeding-wise as well.
Indeed, we'll be keeping an eye on that. And some teams still have quite a few games left to play. Weavers still has 5 left to play. Firehouse Pizza and Moose Mart still have to play 4 more games. So still opportunity, and stuff can change drastically in this final week of this 24-game season. So here's the lineup for the Crusens Reds under the leadership of Chris Maurerman, their manager. It's Jamison Dickerson leading off, the center fielder, then Allen, and C.J. Johnson, Kelton Nafziger, Noah Funk, Owen LaRoe, and Ryan Heller, Wyatt Pearson, and Zach Almaguire. As there's a ball from the first pitch from Josh Caruso, who Brock kind of has the main storyline coming into tonight. Just sits 1 win away from 75 wins in his career.
Yeah, would be tied fifth all time in the Sunday Morning League. So far this year, 3.96 ERA, 0-3 record on the season. As there's a base hit right there.
And left a hanging curveball, and Dickerson got it up and in, lofted it over the head of the third baseman Kleisen, and he's aboard. Dickerson having a nice year, hitting 409. But back to what you were saying, Brock.
Yeah, actually, correction there. He'd be fifth all time in wins. It would be win number 79, actually, for his career, tied with Robert Newell back in 1929 and 1947. I believe everyone can recognize that name. Everyone's been around in the 1930s to see him pitch.
I'm sure.
But then again, Caruso, we all know him, second most all time in strikeouts behind Clay McConkey. Those two have been going back and forth for a long time, so it's going to be cool to see tonight. Interesting to see if he can get this win, as he's facing a tough Crusens Reds hitting team that can really swing the bat.
Swing and a miss there from Colton Allen, who leads the team with 6 doubles on the year. Dickerson stole second, beat the throw there from Anson Zeiser behind the plate. So Reds threatening already with one on and nobody out. Caruso eyes down Dickerson, comes in with the pitch, and that one sails wide. Earlier in the year, Brock, if I'm reading this correctly on the Sunday Morning League website, front page, this is one of my favorite parts of the website, the milestone watch. Caruso reached 1,000 strikeouts in his career earlier this year, all the way back on May 24th. So one of the first games of the year, and he's not far away from 900 innings pitched either.
Yeah, 1,000 strikeouts. He's just the second man to reach that milestone besides Clay McConkey, who's the strikeout king, as Caruso gets another strikeout right there. But yeah, Caruso has been doing it for a long time and still punching tickets and has pitched a lot of innings. But it's going to be interesting to see how far he goes tonight, especially with this heat. It's going to take an effect on you. But just trying to limit damage as well. Damage control will be key in this one. Don't want to be wasting a lot of pitches during each inning.
That's a good point, Brock. And something we have not talked about yet is the conditions tonight. It's a beautiful night out, or evening, I should say. Not really, maybe not quite nighttime yet, but not a cloud in the sky. It is hot, pretty humid. So hydration going to be a big key here today. And as we're right in the dog days of summer, I mean, you talk about, if you ask me to pick, man, when are the dog days of summer? I'd say right around, probably July 14th. So, Caruso relying on some of his off speeds here. 1-1 to C.J. Johnson, the DH for the Reds today.
Yeah, to describe a July summer day in Illinois, this would be it. 90s and humid. Still a beautiful day.
It'll get really nice, I'm sure, by maybe about the 5th or 6th inning or so, and the sun starts to go down a little bit. That's how it usually goes here with our 6 p.m. start times, at least in the games that we broadcast here at Clutch Sports Media with the PSML. Another curveball to Johnson is fouled off and onto the adjoining field. And Brock, there was something also we were talking about today was the conditions, the environment. There are a lot, and I mean a lot, of kids in the adjoining fields today for the Christian Center tryouts.
Yeah, Christian Center travel ball tryouts. I couldn't get a total head count, but there's at least 150 kids over there, so everyone's got to keep their head on a swivel tonight.
Surely hoping for no one getting hit with foul balls. That one does nearly hit Johnson. Ball rides inside, and the count is run out 3-2. Johnson on the year hitting .315 with 5 doubles, 1 homer, and 9 RBIs. Pitch from Caruso, swing and miss, and then there's 2 straight. He said he's got 1,000. There's 1,000 and some change. There's back-to-back Ks. And now it'll be up to Kelton Nafziger to keep the line moving here for the Reds.
Good pitch there by Caruso, getting another strikeout. Trying to strand a runner on second, just like we saw in the top of the first, as Ogden was stranded on second base.
So here's Nafziger, the former Delavan Panther, hit 187 so far this year. Does have 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, looks at a strike. His 9 walks, though, are tied for the team lead alongside Noah Funk, who is on deck. And Caruso steps off, and Dickerson, now they've been kind of toying with Caruso a bit. You can see Caruso definitely keeping a close eye on him.
Yeah, and speaking of stolen bases by the Reds, Dickerson stole second earlier in this inning. I can't go on without this broadcast mentioning Trent Jordan.
Yeah.
Stealing his 117th base, tying Charles Tomei Jr. Whenever you're in a list with a Tomei, you know you are really up there. He's just 7 away from tying number 1 all-time stolen bases, Bill Babcock.
Wow.
He is 5 stolen bases away from second. But yeah, Trent Jordan, 117 career stolen bases and counting.
It seems like almost every team in the PSML has a guy you could just kind of call a lifer. A guy that's been around the team for 10, maybe even 20 plus years. For the Miller Lite, it's Clay McConkey. For Kohl's, it's Josh Caruso. For MoveSmart, it's been Josh Blom. Well, Trent Jordan's kind of that guy for Crusens. And talk about all those other guys, they have their own fortes, their different strengths, but stealing bases, definitely what Trent Jordan does best. And striking out batters, that's what Josh Caruso does best. And he sets 3 down in a row to strand Dickerson at second. Scoreless first inning here in East Peoria. And while we have a quick break, I want to thank all of our sponsors that help make this broadcast possible. Starting with the Blue Duck Barbecue Tavern, located right in downtown Peoria, right alongside the river. Bomb Sports as well. Bradley L. Welker and C.R. Davis and Company down in Springfield, Bradfields. And also Busey Bank, you see them as your scoreboard sponsor. I want to thank them for their support. CAD Construction Incorporated. Also Captivation Dance. Cookies over in Peoria Heights. And Core Construction as well, located in Morton. I want to thank them and all the rest of our sponsors, which you'll hear from later today. So coming up here for the Reds in the top of the second is Funk, LaRoe, and Heller. That's 5, 6, and 7 for Crusens. And Brock, looking at the that'll be coming at the bottom of the second inning for the Royals. This is Mikey Dunn, Colin Delaire, Anson Zeiser due up here for the Royals, who, again, don't rank near the top of the league in a lot of different categories for hitting, but they do rank second in walks drawn. And like I said earlier, they have a high batting average as well at 265. So for the Royals, it's not really a problem of getting on base. It's just been making sure you get those guys in. And
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the key for them today.
Yeah, timely hitting. We'll say that over and over again tonight, as we saw in the first inning, leaving a runner in scoring position. That's something you don't want to do, especially in this game. You'll want to get on the board first, because with this heat and how everyone's playing, it seems like 1 run could win it. It also could be 10 runs could win it with the ball flying out. But yeah, leaving runners in scoring position has been a big issue for the Royals. And as we saw, both teams strand a runner at second to start this game.
Here's a pitch from Brandon Coates again, the former Illini Bluffs Tiger. That one is down in the artificial turf here at Dave Rogers Field. 2-1 to Mikey Dunn. DH tonight for the Royals. Pops this one up on the left side in foul territory. Almaguer and Heller both ran for it. It's the catcher, Almaguer, putting it away for the second time tonight.
Tough play. Great job communicating right there. Almost had a scary collision right there, but able to hold on for the out.
I'll bring up Colin Delaire, playing first base tonight for Kohl's Diamond Gallery. First pitch strike. Nice one in there from Coates. Coates obviously definitely a baseball star at Illini Bluffs, but when I hear the name Brendan Coates, Brock, I think mostly of him as a basketball player. Played in some of those great teams alongside with Hank Alvey and Devin White and a lot of other really good players that have came through that IB basketball program over the years. They've also been pretty formidable in baseball too.
Yeah, had a lot of Illini Bluff stars over the years.
Swing and a miss from Delaire. Drop third. Almaguire fires it over to the first baseman, Allen, who sidesteps, and that'll retire Delaire for out number 2.
Illini Bluff's baseball stars, Josh Vaughn.
Yep.
From Bradley.
Josh Vaughn, who had one of the most incredible games that I, or even you at home, I'm sure, will ever see, is struck out all 21 batters. Had a completely perfect game against Peoria Christian 2 years ago as Anson Zeiser, first pitch swinging, flies out into left. But that was just one of the most incredible performances I think you could ever have in high school baseball.
Yeah, something that made national news, that headline, 21 up, 21 down, all via the strikeout. That's pretty incredible feat that I don't think we'll ever witness again, because that's almost impossible to do.
It was, and I mean, some people might say, well, it all depends on who they play, right? Some of those teams you can really respect. Peoria Christian was not a bad team by any means. Obviously, Illini Bluffs was a little bit better than them at the time, but by no means were Peoria Christian a winless or near winless team. So that was just an incredible performance there from Vaughn. And that's not to take anything away from Coates, who has retired 4 in a row now and puts another 0 up on the scoreboard as now it'll be Noah Funk, Owen LaRoe, and Ethan Heller, due up for the Reds, 5, 6, and 7 in their lineup.
Let's see how Caruso approaches this inning after giving up just 1 hit and then striking out 3 batters. Really solid first inning for Caruso. But as we said before, the Crusens Reds teams, they can get some streaky hitters going and cause some problems on the base paths, as well as we saw Jamison Dickerson stealing a base. And that's what they'll do. They'll get on base and then cause some havoc on the base paths, but it's just timely hitting again. We're going to have to see some timely hits for both teams.
I'm glad you mentioned the word streaky earlier, Brock, as I was just pulling up the Crusens' schedule for the year, and they started out the year 0-4. Now, given 3 of those games were against Miller Lite, who is obviously a league power year in, year out, but they lost their first 4, then won 5 of their next 6, then lost both games of a doubleheader to Poor Bros. This is on June 22nd. Then from there on, they won 6 in a row until July 5th. Now they're 1-3 in their last 4. So it's been a very hot and cold season for them, and all in all, it's evened out to a 12-10 mark so far.
Yeah, starting out 0-4 on the season and then making it to a 12-10 record, you can't complain about that. Yeah, streaky indeed, and hoping to get hot at the right time. And this is just about the right time to get hot with not a lot of games left in the regular season, and then you're going to have to play a lot of games in the Sunday Morning League tournament with a double elimination.
Indeed, there's a nice throw across the diamond. That was Gavin Kleist over at third base, and as maybe even a better stretch there from Colin Delaire over at first to retire Noah Funk for the first out of the bottom of the second.
Good stretching, good scoop, too, by Delaire, making the scoop play to get the out. That's a ball outside to Owen LaRoe.
1-0. This one hit into the outfield and hit well. Braden Ogden, the center fielder, retreats and makes the catch. Well hit ball there from LaRoe. Just hung up a bit too much and a little bit too much at Ogden.
Yeah, gave that ball a ride. Dead center. Good swing, good piece. But just not enough right there. Something to take into his next at bat. This pitch, curveball, misses on the outside part.
First pitch to Ethan Heller, who's hitting .205 on the year with 3 doubles and 7 RBIs. He also has 11 strikeouts and 6 walks. This one is a nice little blooper into the outfield, and that might find a spot, and it does. It gets past the center fielder Ogden, but Rigg is right there and cuts it off. That'll limit Heller to a single, but a 2-out base hit and stops the 5-batter streak that Caruso had going. So now up to Wyatt Pearson in the 8-hole tonight for the Reds.
Interesting sequence right there. He went curveball, fastball. You usually see on an 0-0 count, you'll usually see guys throw a fastball, but it seems like he's using a little off-speed first pitch to try to mess with the Reds' timing.
He has been going, especially that first inning, he went to his curveball a lot. Pearson, like Nafziger, also a Delavan alum, part of some really good Panthers teams from a few years ago. Swinging strike there from Caruso. Pearson just 1 RBI on the year. Been a bit of a tough season for him. Here's 1-1, low and away. Looking at, again, talking about Crusens' schedule from earlier. They face Kohl's here tonight, and then they'll wrap up with the Firehouse Pizza Expos on Sunday. That's another team that they are right neck and neck with in the playoffs. Essentially tied with them right now. Firehouse is 11-9, Crusens 12-10. So Expos have a few extra games to make up. As here's the 2-1. That one rides inside.
Expos tonight will play Weavers after this game. Then we'll have a doubleheader on Thursday.
And the final game of the regular season, Brock, is here's a 3-1 hit into the short outfield. Pashard coming in from right and puts it away. Can of corn for him over there in right field. And 2 innings are in the books from the East Side Center. Still no score. I'm trying to get back on my train of thought, Brock. We were talking about the playoffs and stuff coming up, and we were talking about I was gonna say Sunday, the final day of the regular season, right? With a lot of double headers, I think, on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I got a full slate of games. A lot of some teams have already played most of their games, but the Sunday slate, there is a Weavers Falcons at 9 a.m. and 11. Then we have Royals Mariners at 9 a.m. Poor Bros and Tin Lizard at 11 a.m. And then later in the afternoon, Crusens plays the Expos. So that is 5 games on Sunday to close out the regular season, and then we'll take a little break as the first game of the playoffs will be on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe the play-in game will be Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't completely looked on the play-in game. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday, but the full slate of playoff games will be on Thursday. Gives guys some time to take a little breather from those doubleheader days.
Indeed it will, and we'll have plenty of playoff action coming your way right here on ClutchSportsIL.com. This has been our largest broadcast slate yet. Any year that we've been with the Sunday Morning League, this is our 4th year, and we are doing more games than ever this year. We will have playoff games on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, and Sunday of next week. Again, not later this week, but next week. We got games for you every one of those days. On the obviously 23rd is the first round. Everyone is still alive, clean slate for that game. Then on Friday, I believe that game that we'll have will be an elimination game between two teams that lost on Thursday. Then on Saturday, those games, that game will be a winner from Friday and also a loser from the winner's bracket on Friday as well. All sorts of, a lot of moving parts, a lot of variables still right now. But if you take a look on the Sunday Morning League website, they did just put the bracket up there recently. I checked it a few days ago, it was not there. I look at it now, and it's magically appeared. So you can take a look at their new revamped website, psmlbaseball.com, and get a look at it. And again, we'll be announcing all the games that we're doing on our social media channels next week as well. So stay tuned for that.
Thing to be excited for the playoffs is that's a ground ball.
That's from Ryan Coker, their second baseman. Throw gets by the first baseman, Alan Coker, going to try and take another bag, and will do so successfully. That is going to be an error there on the Reds. And something we had also talked about as sort of a key to the game, Brock, was we talked about Kohl's had been not the cleanest team in the field, but it's Crusens committing the first error there, and we'll see if the Royals can take advantage.
Yeah, and and one of the other keys to the game that I was talking about earlier is runners in scoring position. We saw both. That's a ground ball again.
There's Rosa over to third. Runner going to hold it second. Nicely done there from Heller to keep Coker there and retire Rosa in the same sweep.
Good play by Heller. As I was saying, earlier in the game, we saw both teams strand runners at scoring position, which is going to be a big thing to look at. Having runners in scoring position, you got to cash in when the opportunity is presented. And right here, with one out and a runner at second base, you'd really want to get that one run in to get the lead here tonight.
I'll bring up Ogden. He doubled his first time up. A little looper down the left field line, and that one breaks in for a low strike.
Ogden has been a monster at the plate.
Yeah, 16 RBIs on the year, hitting .328 with 4 doubles. And I believe he's the only player on the Royals, Brock, to have hit a home run this year.
Ogden, the newest Royal, first year as a Royal, was on the Expos last year.
That one sails in and ducks out of the way.
He was part of the, we can call it a Cinderella run for the Expos when they went on a 10-plus game winning streak to get to the championship series, falling to Poor Bros, but
yeah,
they were definitely looking like they were going to be a 7 seed at most, and they climbed their way to a 4 or 3, and then they kept on winning in the playoffs. He was a big part of it.
Yeah, last year's playoffs, and this is a big reason why I'm looking forward to the playoffs this year. Last year's playoffs were just off the wall. As there's a check swing that will go for a strike there at Ogden, now 3-2 they count. But it seemed like all of the lower seeds, or most of them, won in the first round, and then the top seeds were the ones that had to battle back. Kohl's, I think, won their first 2 games. They were one of the lower seeds. I think Move Smart might have also made a bit of a run too, and
we saw the number 1 seed Miller Lite Falcons lose their first 2 games.
Yep,
get eliminated early, a shocker.
That was a surprise early exit. They'll be hungry again this year as Ogden strikes out. Number 3 in terms of strikeouts for Brandon Coates on the night. That'll bring up Gil Pashard. Looks at a strike there, but yeah, you just never really know, even especially with this Kohl's team again that's 7-15, looking like going to be in that 8th seed as a playoff game against Move Smart, but anything can happen really. So should be a very fun week next week, and then we'll also, not to be forgotten, we will have the championship series coming for you as well at the very tail end of the month.
Kohl's, this is their second to last regular season game. On Sunday, they will be playing Move Smart, so maybe a little taste of what's to come.
Bouchard fouls that one straight up just over our heads and clanks off the press box roof.
Yeah, the Royals will be playing the Mariners, so possible rematch again, as they most likely will be playing later in the week.
I have to figure in that game they might just kind of maybe throw a throwaway guy on the mound and say, hey, we're gonna be facing each other in the real game that counts later this week. So that might just be maybe a bullpen game, possibly for both the Royals and the Mariners.
But the thing that is nice is you do get a couple days off for some rest.
Swing and a miss there from Bouchard, and there's 4 strikeouts now for Brandon Coates. Just 3 runners have reached base, one of which was on an error that inning, and still no one has came across to score as we're into the bottom of the third. At a series with Move Smart, Brock, that'll be the rubber game because Move Smart won the first one 10-3. Kohl's won the second matchup 5-4 in a doubleheader back on June 7th. So they'll look to pick up a season series win. And the Royals also have a season series win over the Tin Lizard Titans. Way back at the start of the year in a doubleheader to open the season. I talked about, Crusens. They've had an up and down year. Kohl's a little bit of a different story. They started out 3-1, then they dropped down to 4-4 on June 14th. Then they was part of a 6-game losing streak. And in their last 10, they are 3-7. So they're looking to pick up some momentum. Their last win came on July 6th back against Tin Lizard in a 9-5 win at Dozer Park.
Royals looking for a big time win against the Reds.
This would probably be one of their better wins of the season. Again, not saying that any of the teams they have beaten are poor by any means. Tin Lizard, solid. Firehouse Pizza, they beat them once, is solid. They've beaten Brienzo's. They thrashed Weavers 13-3. That was a solid performance. And they also beat Tin Lizard later on. So they actually swept the Tin Lizard Twins this year, but have struggled against other teams. This one, a chopper to second baseman Coker. And that is a ground out there for number 10 on the Reds. That is someone who is now listed in our starting lineup. That is
Zach. I believe he changed jerseys.
Oh, went from number 1 to number 10. So Almaguire, the catcher, grounds out. Back to the top of the order with Jamison Dickerson, who singled and stole a base his first time up.
One of the hottest hitting guys in not only on the team but in the league. He's up there for a spot at the batting title. Coming into the game, he's batting .409, but is 1 for 1 today.
Probably think that average might be up to around maybe 415, 420 now or so. Obviously, in a small sample size of only about 20 or so games, just a few hits can drastically improve your batting average. As he looks at a strike there. Curveball, another nasty one from Caruso. Had 3 strikeouts in the first inning after that inning opening hit, but still looking for his first one since umpire calls time, just as Caruso is about to go into his windup. Now he gets the play signal, and here comes a 3-2. Swing and a miss on the high inside corner, and Caruso has found that location several times tonight.
Caruso up and in for his 4th strikeout. Good pitch right there. Had Dickerson a little confused on that swing. Not his normal looking swing. Brings up 2 outs now.
A tough one to swing at there for Dickerson as this will bring up Colton Allen again. And both teams have gotten a runner to second base tonight. We are still waiting for our first runner to reach third as Allen fouls that one off and onto one of the adjoining fields. Wind up and pitch from Caruso, squirts by hurts by Zeiser, the catcher, former Washington Panther. And here's the 2-1 to Allen. Swing and a miss there, and Caruso really starting to find some good sequences with his pitches tonight.
Caruso dialed in.
And looking for win number 80 in his career. That one, a curveball on the outside, and it's 3-2. Batter on deck is C.J. Johnson. 3, 4, and 5 coming up here for the Reds. So possibly a 2-out rally if Allen can reach, but he cannot. He succumbs to another Caruso off-speed pitch, and that's now 5 strikeouts on the night for the Royals veteran. It's got to feel good for him, Brock, because we talked again prior to coming on the air that Caruso is always going to be Josh Caruso, but this year has been a little bit more of a struggle than past years. A 6.34 ERA and 17 strikeouts, 17 innings to go with 9 walks, but he is looking like vintage Josh Caruso here tonight.
Yeah, 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. He's been putting the ball on the ground, which has caused some problems in earlier games. But tonight he's taking matters into his own hands. It seems like with 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. But yeah, I've mentioned this before. I think I tweeted this out one day when we've had the Peoria Sunday Morning League has had so many great pitchers duels, and I said for the PSML, P is Peoria, but it also could stand for pitching because this league is a pitching dominated league, and even the hitters will tell you that too. There's a lot of good hitters. Every team has at least one guy that can really pitch. That can throw a complete game shutout anytime they really want to. So hitting is tough in this league.
It certainly is. I do remember that tweet. I was actually going to bring it up at some point. I made a mental note to bring up that tweet because I did really get a good chuckle out of that when I saw that, Brock. But you are certainly correct in the fact that these games, as you see here tonight, no score in the top of the 4th inning, are dominated by pitching. And Brendan Coates having a strong night on the hill for the Reds as he faces Gavin Kleiss now. Kleiss hits this one high in the air, but not terribly deep. And Dickerson coming on and makes the catch.
Quick out right there, getting settled in. But back to the pitcher's duel. It's not just the fact that we're scoreless. It's the fact that we've only seen 2 runners reach second base.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like we're that close to a run at all because these pitchers are really dialed in right now.
I'm sure pretty efficient pitch counts for both. I don't have the pitch counts in front of me right now, but I have to imagine they are both fairly low, and these guys, they stay on track, maybe could go the distance. That one goes inside and hits Owen Rigg.
Yeah, Coates has just 1 walk on the night. Caruso, no walks. So that really helps out your pitch count as well with limiting the walks. But there's a free pass right there with the hit batter. Bringing up Mikey Dunn, who can really swing the bat.
Dunn popped out to the catcher in foul territory his first time up. Dunn part of a great baseball family here in Peoria. First pitch swinging, and that one popped up and over our heads.
Mikey Dunn played at Eureka College as a two-way, pitched and hit. Also pitches and hits in the PSML too, but is the DH tonight.
He does. This one ripped to right field, and that is about the cleanest single as you can find. That one bounces up high off of Nafziger, and that will move Rigg over to third. And what do you know, Brock? There's our first runner on third base of the night. Fine piece of hitting there from Dunn.
A little help from the turf there. Got a big bounce out in right field.
A big Sunday morning league hop, you could say. So runners on the corners now for Colin Delaire, who, again, has 2 RBIs on the year. He also played, or actually currently plays at Eureka College, plays both baseball and basketball. Former Pekin Dragon. Follows that one straight back.
I was going to say, I was interested to see if Dunn was going to run on one of those two pitches, but now with 2 strikes, I don't think you'd take the risk. Just because of the lack of, you could say, action.
There's a grounder to third. They get one at second to throw over to first. They got him at first. A bit of a controversial call. Some in attendance think he might have been safe, and that would have been the first run of the game, but we stay scoreless in East Peoria. What a double play there. Heller to Pearson to Allen, 5-4 to 3. And Brendan Coates and the Reds breathe a big sigh of relief.
Great play right there. I mean, we can go back and look at the tape later on, but it was a bang play out there.
It was awfully close. I don't think it was at least from my angle. Again, I was never an umpire at this level. I did for about 10 years and below. That's about where my umpiring career stopped, but to me, it looked very close. It was not an egregiously missed call. I really think it depends on where you're sitting or maybe who you're a fan of. I think that might be give you your answer on. Kind of depend.
Still a huge play and huge call because that run now does not score. We stay scoreless. Going to the bottom of the fourth. Bringing Caruso back on the mound.
And he's going to face the heart of the order with C.J. Johnson, Kelton Nafziger, and Noah Funk here due up for the Reds. And their bats have been decent, right around about the median of this 9-team league. Their batting average is actually not as high as I thought it would be, Brock. They're only hitting .234 as a team. That ranks 7th. But they scored 100 runs. That ranks 5th, just one spot above Kohl's. But they are 3rd in doubles. They are 4th in walks drawn. But really where they have made up their ground is the pitching department. They rank 2nd in ERA, .258 as a team compared to .606 for Kohl's. That is the biggest contrast between these two teams. They also have the 4th most strikeouts in the league on the mound with 165 do the Reds.
ERA hasn't been a problem tonight. Scoreless going to the bottom of the 4th and strikeouts pretty much evenly matched as well.
Johnson looks at a ball high and in.
Caruso, 0-3 record. His last 3 starts have gotten him a loss. The first 2 games, he had a no decision. Looking to turn that around tonight.
Now looking for his first win of the season, 0-4 coming into tonight.
Which you don't really hear about that much. Caruso winless in a season.
Strikeout there. There's another one for Johnson, and Caruso has really had his best stuff against some of the Reds' best hitters. He's got 6 strikeouts, and they're all against the top 4 batters in the lineup.
Good pitch right there for a 6th strikeout, elevating the heater.
That now makes it 23 strikeouts on the season for Caruso. There's a looking strike to Nafziger. He struck out his first time up.
Caruso mixing a lot of stuff in, a lot of junk, a lot of breakers. Making this Reds lineup mess with their timing.
Check swing, he went. That's now 1-2.
Proves my point right there. Messing with the timing. Can't really see it out of the hand, so hitters going up there kind of guessing right now.
That one rides inside, nearly hits Nafziger. See, I'll tell you, both pitchers have been missing a lot more inside tonight than they have outside.
You could tell with Caruso too, right there by his reaction. He missed his target.
That one chopped to the left side, and that one's foul out of play as we make sure our camera is all good. Mark Wagner behind the sticks tonight, ensuring everything runs smoothly. Looks like he's got it all figured out. That's not a Mark problem. That's a cord issue right there. Here's 2-2 inside. That is a backwards K for Caruso, and that is now 4 straight strikeouts dating back to the last inning, and we are on to the 5th in this pitcher's duel, Brock, and nothing being given up by either team. Oh, that's 2 outs, excuse me. Pardon me, I got confused. There's been so many strikeouts, I lost track as we're on to Noah Funk. Another breaking ball fouled off.
His 7th strikeout of the night. That ties his season high, which goes back to his first outing of the season on May 24th when he struck out 7 batters for the Tin Lizard Twins in 5 innings.
And ball away makes it 1-1. And, Caruso, he's been around the league long enough. He's played in the league as long as we've been broadcasting the games here with the PSML. He knows you can't have a bad game when Clutch Sports Media shows up, right? As there's a grounder at second, and that'll retire Funk for the end of the inning. So now there's 3 outs. The strikeout streak comes to an end, but the score is still the same. 0-0 as we head into the 5th. And while we have a quick break, I do want to thank some of our sponsors tonight, and including but not limited to Crusens on Farmington Road and also War Memorial Drive, and also DC Home Base, Ducks on Farmington Road, just right across the street there from Crusens, Fairview State Banking Company. Also, Jake Smith at Lexus of Peoria, located there on Allen Road. JH Car Wash as well. After you visit Lexus of Peoria, go to JH Car Wash. Then Kim's Academy of Dance, Laura Martin with Remax as well. I thank them and all of our sponsors.
Going into the 5th inning here, we're still knotted up at zeros. Both teams just have 2 hits on the night, so it looks like just we're one big hit away from this game being flipped around, which is one of the many reasons why I love baseball. Is one swing of the bat can change everything, change a whole complexion of a game. As we mentioned earlier, we have yet to see a runner on third base tonight.
Well, there was one for the Royals back in the last inning before they had that double play, but it was only briefly on third.
Briefly.
would have came across the score if not for a great double play that the Reds infield turned.
That's right, the big hop in right field making him go to third.
So here is Anson Zeiser to lead it off. 8-9-1 coming up here for the Royals.
Had a great year helping Washington. Great year by Washington Panthers as well in the high school season.
Yeah, Washington about as consistent as it gets. 2 years ago, they had a real big breakout year. They went to the 3A sectional title game and didn't quite get that far this year, but still a very good squad. You just know that Washington's going to be good every year with
In
Kyle
all
Wisher's
sports,
group.
too.
Yeah. There's very few sports and very few seasons where Washington's in the lower half of the Mid-Illini as Zeiser fouls that one off onto the other field. I'll make it 2-2.
Yeah, Washington rarely bottom of the table in the Mid-Illini, which Mid-Illini, in my eyes, has been probably the most competitive conference in the area. There's another strikeout.
Yeah, Zeiser fans, that'll be 5 strikeouts now. They count him up there for Brandon Coates. I'll bring up Ryan Coker now, looking for his first hit in the Sunday Morning League this year. Is 0 for 10 coming in tonight. Raced on an error earlier, so that one, I'm not sure if the official score will think otherwise, but I think that will not count as his first hit of the season. So
yes, that is true.
Swing and a miss there, and quickly 0-2.
Coach throwing I like the phrase hard ball. He's throwing a hard, firm ball. You can tell by that catcher's pop.
That one coming right at us here in the booth.
Buzzing the tower there.
Yeah.
But you can tell when somebody's throwing, there's a difference between throwing fast and throwing hard. By the pop of the mitt, you can really tell they're throwing hard stuff. Even on their breaking balls, it can come in really firm, which sets up for a good strikeout pitch.
It does, and both pitchers have combined for 12 of them tonight. Coach looking for 13. This one chopped over to short. Funk has hold of it and fires a seed over to Allen, who makes a stretch at first base, and that retires Coker for out number 2.
Great stretch right there by Allen. Making a first baseman play look easy.
Now 2 outs and still nobody on base. Back to the top of the order with Dominic Rosa for the Royals. His first Sunday Morning League season, hitting .288, 15 hits, 4 RBIs. Looks at a strike there.
There is a lot, so as the season winds down, we got to start thinking about awards.
And we do. This one grounded to short. Funk will do it again. Retires batter 6-3 and on to the bottom of the 5th. And Coates is still cruising here in East Peoria.
And I like what you did right there, if that was intentional or not. But there's a lot that there for a rookie of the year. I think this year there's the most amount of rookies I've seen in this league. The Weavers Bandits have an entire team of rookies, but the Royals have a bunch of rookies, a bunch of graduated high schoolers, some guys that just knew about this league from college, or I've even seen some guys where some of their college buddies said, "Hey, there's a league here. You want to play?" Like that's how some of these guys get in. But the Rookie of the Year conversation will be a tough one because there's about 15 guys that can legitimately win it this year.
No, I am right there with you, Brock. Again, I think Weavers is a big part of that. Again, a team that's largely comprised of guys that just graduated high school. Expansion team this year in the Sunday Morning League replaced the Sound of Peoria Sand Gnats from last year as the 9th team in the league, but doing pretty well overall. I mean, I remember, Brienzo's their first year, they were really down, didn't have a ton of wins, and I saw in Peoria last year. They also struggled pretty mightily, but Weaver's 10-9 on the year, and they're 7-3 in their last 10. So we'll see how things unfold and see if they can keep their wooden bats hot the rest of the way.
Yeah, that they're holding their own, and you'll probably see them on Clutch Sports in the postseason, most likely, as we're going to be streaming, I believe, one game every day for the playoffs, which is going to be really exciting.
We will, and again, those matchups are still to be determined. This is a chopper that's just dribbling foul for Owen Rowe. Now, there's no guarantee we're going to see every team once, but you have to think that with
strong possibility
the way that the schedule will work out. Hopefully, that's at least personally speaking. My wish is that we'd see a good variety of teams. I'm sure we'll see a team more than once, especially maybe on Saturday or Sunday when we get deeper into it, as Caruso deals another curveball strike to LaRoe.
Weavers has a bunch of talent just because they have every division of college you can see. You can have JUCO guys, you have D3 guys, you have a couple of D1 commits as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah, just loads of talent. They're fresh out of high school, getting ready for college, so perfect time to jump in the Sunday morning. They can get their bats hot.
0-2 here to LaRoe. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Caruso, and that's now a season high 8 Ks for him tonight through 4 1/3 innings. And I'm glad you brought up the Kohl College thing, Brock. Just before we went on the air today, I just published a story and took a long time for me to compile. And I'm sure it's still not fully exhaustive, but we just put out on our website, Clutch Sports Media, and clutchsportsisle.com/overtime specifically, but I put out a list of all of the class of 2026 athletes from the Central Illinois area that are playing sports in college, no matter if it's JUCO, NAIA, even all the way up to Division I. Compiled a list of many of those players. I'm sure we're missing a few in there as that one gets by, and there's another single for Mr. Heller. He's 2 for 2 on the night, but again, that available on our website. You can subscribe today to see us some overtime for plenty more coverage, and we'll have lots more coming with the fall rolling around. But back to the action here.
Yeah, great hit right there by Heller, and just to cap off that talk, that folks, I guarantee you that did not take one day. That took a while. So I commend you and the Clutch Sports team with all their research, because that guaranteed took a long time to come up with that.
The sheet that we used to track all the things and document all these commitments started months ago, and obviously the last thing we want to do is omit someone. So a lot of it's just double checking. Okay, making sure that where did this guy commit? Did someone change their commitment? For example, Chase Rhodes from Tremont won a state title, had a phenomenal year pitching, and was committed to John A. Logan. Now he's going to Kansas. Here's a steal attempt, and they got Heller. Bang, bang play at second, and Anson Zeiser guns him down for out number 2.
Close play right there. Did a little swim move, trying to avoid the tag, but did not. Great play right there by Zeiser, showing off the arm and the pop time.
And that was just right on the money, too. I mean, that throw, again, he had, like you said, had the pop time, but also right on mark. And that might change how this inning unfolds here. You go from 1 on, 1 out in a 0-0 game to now no one out or no one on and 2 outs.
Caruso getting a little head nod there. Wanted that call, didn't get it.
That looked like possibly a slider there and went in for a strike. Zeiser a little bit less accurate on that throw as it evades Caruso, but he's accurate when it counts.
He's saving the throws for when it matters.
Exactly. 3-2, Caruso looking for a put-away pitch here against Wyatt Pearson. And there is ball 4. Caruso thought he had it, had already walked off the mound. And Pearson will replace Heller at first base with 2 outs.
Yeah, there were three. I was watching that at bat while you were talking. There were three pitches in that at bat where Caruso's facial reactions. He thought it was a strike, close call, and now you got to reset after a long at bat, trying to get out of this inning, keep it scoreless.
Indeed, and on a hot night where he's been efficient. It's been a good game for him so far and hasn't spent a ton of time on the mound, but I think by now I'm sure you got to be wearing a little bit, starting to sweat. I'm sure here in the bottom of the 5th on this very humid night in central Illinois. Pitch to Almaguer is low and away, and it's 2-0.
Reaching the 70 pitch mark for Caruso. Coates has 68 pitches tonight.
Very similar in that regard. Almaguer lines this one into right field. This one could be trouble, and this one could reach the fence. Almaguer is going to go to second. Pearson going to get held up at third as Gil Pichard did a nice job chasing that ball down in right field for Coles. But runners on second and third with 2 outs, and we're going to get a pinch runner here as Michael Seibert, it appears, will come in for Almaguer, the courtesy runner, and Almaguer will put the catching gear on.
I was definitely surprised by Gil Pichard getting that ball in as quick as possible. I thought there was no way they'd be able to hold the runner at third. I thought that was a RBI all the way, but Gil Pichard with the cannon bringing that one in. Now second and third, 2 outs. Looking to get out of this and keep it scoreless.
Back to the top of the order now with Jamison Dickerson, who singled his first at-bat in the first inning, struck out back in the third.
Reds' hottest hitter.
And their curveball, this one popped up. Coming in the outfield, it's a long run, but making the catch is Ogden. Battles the sun and puts it away. And Brock, we are still scoreless in this one. The Reds put together their best threat yet and are unable to come up with a run. So we move on to the top of the 6th in this 0-0 game. So look at that, Brock. 72 pitches for Caruso and 68 for Coates here tonight. So 2 very similar outings. And Caruso, small edge in strikeouts. And let's see, Caruso has just 1 walk on the night, it appears, compared to Coates, who also has just 1 walk on the night as well.
Pitcher's duel here, but Royals bring up the 2, 3, 4 hitters, trying to get something going. There is a little action in the Reds bullpen, but nobody's throwing, just stretching, just in case this inning were to get a little stressful. But both pitchers have been dialed all night long, and we haven't seen anything, well, in the last inning, getting runners in scoring position. But besides that, it's been smooth sailing for both guys.
I see a few pitchers got the armbands out doing a few workouts. There for Crusens down there in their bullpen. No one really stirring in the Royals bullpen down the left field line. Royals got the bullpen advantage tonight. And the third base dugout, a lot more shade in there right now than the Crusens dugout on the first base side.
And dugout in general in the shade compared to the Reds, who are into the sun. I will be taking advantage of that in the next game, heading over there.
Yeah, Brock, obviously, you hop on the airwaves with us, and obviously always very appreciative of you joining us for most of these games we broadcast. But maybe tell folks maybe a little bit about what you do when you're not broadcasting games, because obviously this is this internship I know keeps you busy and has you doing a lot. So what all does it all entail for you?
Yeah, so essentially, when I'm not on here, I'm walking in between dugouts, going to the other field because usually there's another game going on, but tonight we're just on this field. So walking in between both dugouts, checking up and seeing how everything's going. Usually, sometimes keeping score on Game Changer as well. And then the fun part for me is uh, post game, as there's a ball that went near the field of play for a time, but post game is when it really gets fun because I get to interview some guys doing some post game interviews. I just did a interview with the Weavers Bandits, Jackson Aarons and Augie Lonis. Uh, Augie, his last game in the doubleheader, hit a home run in game one and home run in game two.
Wow.
And then Aaron's hit a grand slam also in that game, so I had to interview them both, and it's always fun to talk to those guys. But yeah, it's a very fun league to be around, and I'm enjoying it.
That's very fun, Brock, as there's a ball that makes it 2-2. So you're busy. Bryson Higgins, who's behind our camera tonight, also busy as well, battling through a hand injury. His hand's all wrapped up, so appreciate him being here and everything he does here as well. As there's a 2-2 from Brandon Coates, and great pitch right on the corner. Tough one to take for Ogden, and Coates gets number 6 on the night.
Bryson up there manning the camera, battling the heat as well,
Yeah.
like we all are tonight. It's not one of the most pleasant nights with it being so humid out, but we've had worse.
Yeah, it is hot, but living in Central Illinois all this time, I think you always do remember one or two that were a little worse. But Brock, I gotta tell you, people will say, "Oh, it's not the heat that gets you; it's the humidity." Well, there's another factor about hot weather that I think some people maybe don't take into account. And if you're anyone like me, you like spending a lot of time in the summer. I like going to the pool. I like being in the water. I also enjoy going to water parks as well. I grew up in Wisconsin, not terribly far away from Wisconsin Dells. And I was out of town this past weekend on some work business, but I was also up in Wisconsin coming back through the Dells area. Met up with one of my friends at Noah's Ark Water Park on Sunday and figured, oh, this is going to be an awesome day for it as Gil Pichard flies this one into right field and put away there by Nafziger. But we were there at the water park on Sunday and about 90, 93 degree day, definitely humid too as well, and figured, oh, this is going to be awesome. Like, what better day to spend a hot day than going to the water park? Well, something I kind of didn't really take into account was you have to walk to get from slide to slide or to the wave pool to the lazy river or anything. And that pavement on your bare feet, if you don't have flip-flops on, is absolutely scorching. I mean, it was some of the hottest pavement I've ever walked on in my entire life. I felt like I was literally walking on coals. And it was still a fun time, but not as enjoyable as I thought. As this liner to Pearson tries to recover it, but Kleiss is safe at first base. And the Royals have a 2-out base runner.
That was still a good effort by Pearson, barehanding that one after it went off his glove, making it close.
Kleiss was running like his feet were running on coals right there.
Speaking of water parks, I wish that Splashdown was still here. I'd jump over in between games and cool off, but unfortunately that is no longer here.
This one flat into right to Nafziger, puts it away, and that's out number 3. Owen Rigg, the third out for the Royals here in the top of the 6th. And Brock, you've lived in Peoria longer than I have. I came here in 2019 as a freshman at Bradley, and I hadn't actually come to the Eastside Center, believe it or not, until we started doing Peoria Sunday Morning League games 4 years ago. So now I'm here quite often, especially for things covering Clutch Sports Media as well, but I'm not familiar with that they used to have a water park here. I did not know that.
Yeah, just past the football field down there was Splashdown, a big water park.
Wow.
Back about 10 years ago before they turned this Eastside Center into what it is today. Obviously, the football field wasn't I believe the football field was not as big as it was now with their upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, big water park behind the parking lot there.
Did it have any drop slides? Did you know? That's one of my favorite things to
They
go
had
on.
drop slides.
Oh man,
They had a massive bucket that they just dump on your
oh
head, and
classic.
then
You're never too old for that.
a big lazy river guy. I'm a big lazy river guy,
Yeah,
but yeah, those were the childhood days.
that is pretty awesome. I wish I was here for that. One thing I gotta ask though, again, I kind of have high standards for my water parks, being going to Wisconsin Dells a lot. But one thing they have in Noah's Ark that was my favorite is a water coaster, one you can go up and down on, and it uses some water jets and like little, almost like conveyor belts to propel you up and down. Really a lot of fun. I'm assuming they did not have one of those there.
They were not that advanced.
uh, well, maybe Splashdown 2.0 will have one.
There we go.
We'll see. As back to the action as Colton Allen digs in now in this pitcher's duel. Now in the bottom of the 6th inning, if Crusens can get a run here, they would stick Kohl's with just one more chance to get it back in the top of the 7th. 2, 3, and 4 due up here for the Reds. This one hit into left field. This one should be playable for Rigg, who reels it in. And that's out number 1. Now bring up C.J. Johnson now 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts. Second on the team, though, with 17 hits and 5 doubles. Does have a home run to his name. And also 6 stolen bases. So a strong all-around year that he's putting together.
I just checked over to the Reds bullpen. No longer doing stretching, just sitting there, depending. Don't know if they're warm or just waiting for the next inning, but that one would have nailed my shin right there if it wasn't for this protection.
And we've had 2 or 3 that have come almost right at us.
But Brandon Coates is at 81 pitches for the Reds. So keep an eye on that bullpen.
Coates and Caruso have both been dealing here
if,
tonight.
If you haven't, if you're just joining us, Coates has gone 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. And Caruso on the mound right now, 5 1/3 with 8 strikeouts.
And a curveball that Johnson can only pop into the air, and Dom Rosa puts it away at shortstop. And Brock, something else we talked about again before this game, we briefly mentioned it, I think maybe back in the 3rd inning, was, Kohl's hadn't always been the cleanest team in the field today, but so far, overall, pretty good in the field, except for, I believe one Reds player reached on, or no, that was a Royals player himself, Coker, that reached on an error, so I don't believe that the Royals have committed any miscues in the field today.
This is a pinch hitter, number 16, Keegan Busby, for the Crusens Reds.
Busby hitting .095 with just 2 hits on the year. Both of them are doubles, and he has 2 RBIs.
I think Chris Maurerman just trying to change it up, trying to see a different guy, because when Caruso's this dialed, you just want to get something off of his rhythm. So maybe another hitter that he hasn't seen yet tonight could do the trick. Also trying to get new guys in, but right before the playoffs. That's also a big thing we have to take into consideration.
Definitely, and Nafsiger had 2 strikeouts earlier tonight, so Busby hoping to avoid that same fate. Fouls that one away to stay alive. One and 2, the count on Busby. Noah Funk is on deck. Funk, one of the team's leading batters, hitting .364 on the year. If Busby can reach, and a nice eye there, doesn't bite at that curveball.
Good looping curveball. Had that looping effect for that curve.
Here's the 2-2 with 2 outs, nobody on. Right down Broadway, and Caruso brings the heat and fans Busby. He has now struck out the cleanup hitter all 3 times he's faced him tonight.
9 strikeouts for Caruso on the night in 6 innings. Absolutely dealing. As we will see Brandon Coates out there again. We did see action. We still do see action in the Reds bullpen, but Coates out there. I believe the Reds are thinking if Coates were to get in trouble in this inning, especially with it being the 7th inning, you don't want to make any mistakes and leave him out there too long. Because now it definitely does look like 1 run will win this ball game.
I certainly think it will be at this point, although we will see. We've seen a lot of crazy things in the Sunday morning league, but what's not crazy is supporting all these sponsors to help make this league possible, and our broadcast as well, including Legacy Investment Services, Lori Venovich, Country Financial, 925-3534, her number. Also, Pyramid Printing and Apparel, Randy Baum Design, Royal Publishing as well, and several other sponsors like Tim Harenka from Country Financial. Whitey's on Route 29, powered by Crusens, newly renovated. Definitely got to check it out now. And the Wyman Group, all official sponsors of the Peoria Sunday Morning League this year, as well as all of our team sponsors too as well. Kohl's Diamond Gallery and Crusens, both sponsors for several years, as Mikey Dunn leads it off here for the Royals.
Royals bringing out the 6, 7, 8 hitters. Dunn, Dallaire,
And Zeiser. Dunn singled his last time up. Looks at a strike there.
Just 1 of 3 hits for the Royals tonight, Dunn has. The others were by Kleist and Ogden.
It's that one well down the right field line, but it's turning foul and going to get out of play. That nearly at home run distance. That might have hit maybe about 310 feet from home plate if it would have stayed. It would have stayed inbounds. We'll see. Pitch to Dunn is knuckled into the third baseman Heller, and he puts that one away easily. And Coates is still moving right along. And I wonder, Brock, not unheard of in the PSML for guys to go even deeper than 7 innings. So if we do go to extras, how long do you think Coates could go? I think he could go at least 1 more after this one if needed.
Yeah, if they needed to.
That one fouled back.
If they truly needed to, he could go 1 more, but I don't know if Chris Mellerman would want to have that happen. A manager's response is, I don't want to go 8. Let's just go win it in the bottom of the 7th.
Exactly.
But that's always in the back of your mind, though.
Colin Dallaire swings and misses there, and that is a 3-pitch strikeout for Brandon Coates.
Strikeout number 7 for Coates. Cruising along.
Number of Zeiser now, who was one of Coates' strikeout victims back in the 5th inning. Oh, that one, watch out. That one glanced off the glove of Almaguer and thankfully did not hit Zeiser. That would have heard a loud thud against that helmet, and I'm glad we did not hear that. Well, no, that one fouled back. And due up for Crusens in the bottom of the 7th, it is Funk, LaRoe, and Heller, 5, 6, and 7. And those batters are a combined 2 for 6 on the night, with both singles coming from Heller. Iser pops this one up. And Allen in the sun makes the catch. That is out number 3. 7 shutout innings for Brandon Coates. The pride of Illini Bluffs here tonight came in tonight with a 1.05 ERA. And Brock, I think that ERA might be getting down to near 0.5 by the end of the night, possibly.
Coach shoving on the mound. That's another scoreless inning. Just unbelievable work. 7 shutout, 7 strikeouts with just 1 walk. As Caruso will come out and pitch the 7th inning. Reds just one run away, trying to get the walk off here, and move on to 13-10 on the season.
Indeed, they are. Again, in case you're just joining us and didn't hear our banter about where both these teams stand in the final week of the regular season, Crusens at 12-10. They are tied with Firehouse Pizza, technically, who is 11-9 on the year. Both those teams 3.5 games back of the league leader Porbros Jacks, who are 15-6. So Crusens, if the playoffs ended today, would be the 4th seed out of 9. And Kohl's would be the 8th seed, although Crusens, a lot more, their range of possibilities for seeding is a lot wider than Kohl's. It looks almost guaranteed that Kohl's will be the number 8 seed. It's just Crusens could probably finish anywhere in between the number 3 or perhaps maybe even as low as the number 7 team in the league this year going into the playoffs that start next week. Again, Funk, LaRoe, and Heller coming up for the Reds. And Noah Funk is at a really strong season, product of ICC. Was a co-rookie of the year back in 2021. Also leads the team in RBIs, hit by pitches, walks as well, and has an OPS of over 1. 1.048 to be exact. Fouls that one back. 0-1. Caruso wants a new ball. Zeiser tosses him a new one. Zeiser, a really nice throw to nail a runner stealing back in the 5th inning. Play that possibly might define the outcome of this game as well as that double play that the Royals grounded into earlier, because that looked like a golden scoring opportunity. Another curve, that one inside, was barely missed. There's the 2-1. Leadoff batter is a big one. That one, looks like that was fouled off at the end of Funk's back. It took a weird angle. I believe that maybe hit down maybe near the knob. Couldn't really see from my angle.
Caruso, first time this season going out to the 7th inning.
Big pitch here, 2-2. This one is a chopper to the right side. It's going to be a tough play. Who's got it? It's going to be the first baseman. Caruso falls to the ground, and they get the out. What a play from Dallaire to Caruso, putting his body on the line and getting a huge first out for the Royals here in the bottom of the 7th.
What a play. You might see that one on social media tomorrow as our top play of the night. That was a really tough play by Caruso, falling down and still managing to step on the bag for the out.
That one was anyone's ball. I mean, really, between the second baseman, Coker, the first baseman, Dallaire, and the pitcher, Caruso, any one of them could have fielded that ground ball, and any one of them could have gone to cover first base if needed. But good communication there for the Royals, and I'll bring up LaRoe with no one on. LaRoe's hitting .222 with a double and 3 RBIs on the year. Swings here. This one knocked down by Coker. Throw to Dallaire. Got him. Back to back. Great plays in the field from the Royals. And how about that? There's 2 down. Nice stop by Coker in the hole, ranging far to his left. And Brock, I wasn't quite sure if that ball was going to get under him, if he was just going to trap it, if he could get it away in time, but got the job done. And Josh Caruso might be thanking his infielders. And the dugout after this one. That one nearly knocks over our producer. We are been under siege here in the booth today. Heller 2 for 2 on the night. This one is another tough one. Coker sets, fires. They get him. They did. 3 outs. All on ground balls, all to the right side of the infield, and that is 7 innings in the books. We are headed to extras. A game that has flown by, but both pitchers continuing to dominate, and it just matters who is going to be the first team to blink.
Both starting pitchers going 7 scoreless. 7 innings have flown by in an hour and a half, and we'll be going to the 8th inning with a runner starting on second, see if that will spark the offense.
Yeah, and that again, new rule this year, or was it last year? Help me out. Was it this year? So, yeah, first year that they're putting a runner on second base in extra innings to kick it off. So that definitely changes the dynamic, especially of how the first batter goes. As there will be a new pitcher, Brock, here for the Reds. That is Brady Bolin. Number 30 coming in for the Reds, and he's used to wearing red. He is a former Pekin Dragon. Bolin, small sample size on the year, just 2 innings pitched in the PSML this season, has 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and both of those came in a game that he started. So, second game and first relief appearance for Mr. Bolin this year.
And there will be I believe there's going to be a courtesy runner to start second. That will be Jacob Miller, number 40, Jake Miller. Because I believe it was the catcher Zeiser.
Yep.
So they're going to put a courtesy runner at second for the catcher Zeiser. Zeiser would be on second base, but with him being the catcher. And so now we will start runner on second.
And it'll be up to Mr. Ryan Coker to lead things off. Made some nice plays there in the field. Now we'll see if he can get done with his bat. Again, still looking for his first hit of the season. 0 for 11 in the PSML this year. Reached on an error back in the 3rd.
Talk about a great time to come up with an opportunity here for your first hit.
The biggest thing, I think, in these first batters, Brock, is getting the ball in play and somehow moving that runner over.
Corners are in.
And Coker does gonna lay down a bunt. It's a beauty. Bolin throws to first. They get the 1, but that is a textbook bunt from Ryan Coker. So he didn't need to get his first hit there. He and his teammates are still going to be pretty happy about that.
He's going to be getting a lot of high fives in the dugout. Now what you'll see here with 1 out and a runner at third, the Reds will play infield in. Looking like the outfield is going to go in too. Everyone's shallow, trying to get this run gunned down at home.
For Dom Rosa, the leadoff batter. That one, again, coming right back at us. And Rosa was the ace pitcher for the Midland Timberwolves this year, set the school record for strikeouts this past season. Now, he's been used a little bit more as a batter in the PSML this year. Watches that one high. So Brandon Coates' day is through. He's not going to get the decision in this one, but 7 strong innings from the Red starter. Now the 1-1. Go ahead and run just 90 feet away. That one, umpire gave it a long look. Discerns that it's a ball.
Close pitch right there. You see everyone in. Big runner at third.
Ogden on deck. He will likely bat, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Now 3-1 to Rosa, and walk isn't the end of the world here if you're Bolin.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is just a pitch out, basically.
3-1 is a bit high, and sure enough, Brock, you were right. They were pitching around Rosa. And they'll take their chances now with Ogden and see if they can get a double play ball or a strikeout.
Yeah, as soon as that went to a 3-ball count, you just want to walk him and set up a double play opportunity. Now, runner, third baseman Heller is going to play in.
Everyone else playing at normal depth. The second baseman Pearson and shortstop Funk playing at double play depth. That one just a bit low from Bolin to Ogden, who's 1 for 3 on the night with a double.
Catcher wanted corners to be in, but Allen over there wanting to hold the runner at first.
Runner's going to go. They will pump fake. Almaguer will let Rosa steal second. So now that dramatically lessens the possibility of the double play, but that's a veteran move there by Almaguer not to get too greedy. And once that ball goes away, you certainly knew that the courtesy runner, Mr. Miller, was going to be coming on home. Now runners on second and third. Another ball low, and now Brock, with this being 3-0, I think you'd be content to put Ogden on as well.
I believe it's 2-1 actually now.
Either way, pitch comes in. That one's a strike.
A little bit of an interesting call there.
Now it is 2-2. That one just clipped the upstairs part of the zone. Pitch to Ogden. This one grounded to third, and what a play there by the third baseman. They got him in a pickle now. They tag him at third for one. Do they get the runner at second? They do not, and I believe that was a good call by the field umpire. I think he might have just been off the bag, but they do get the lead runner, Miller, on a wild play. Ogden reaches first. Rosa reaches third, but they do get the runner that counted. I'm calling that in fielders an FC5 unassisted in my book. I don't know about you, Brock.
I do that with a couple of exclamation marks because that was a crazy play we just saw there. No run scored on that play.
A huge out there for the Reds, and again, that was Ethan Heller making a great play over there at third for the Reds. And he was the lone fielder playing in, and Ogden just hit it to the wrong spot as Pashard looks at that one low. Putting up a 0 in extra innings. Again, with that runner on second base and no outs to start is certainly no easy task, and we'll see if Bolin can get out of this here for Crusens and possibly give his team a chance to win it in the bottom of the 8th. Pashard is 0 for 3 tonight. Popped out to the catcher, struck out, flew out to right. Chops that one foul just about the same spot and past the outstretched hand of Brian Cummings, the first base coach for the Royals, another veteran on that bench. Runner going. And it doesn't matter. Strike three looking Pashard. That's his second strikeout of the night, but the first on the mound for Bolin, who in just his third inning of the season keeps the opposition scoreless.
Now we'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Runner will start at second base, and look who's coming out again for the Royals. Josh Caruso. He sees an opportunity. We talked about the innings pitched. We talked about the strikeouts. He's been there, done that, and his pitch count is still in good shape. And there's nobody even warming up in the bullpen either.
He wants it. I think Caruso wants to prove something tonight. I mean, obviously, he has proven a ton during his career, but again, with the season going the way it has for him, I think he wants to show that, hey, I still got it. And I think I certainly will be walking away saying that, yes, Josh Caruso he's still got it for Colts. So either way, win or lose, it's been a dominant performance for him with, as I count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts on the evening.
Wyatt Pearson will be the batter, and running at second base is going to be Ethan Heller.
So it'll be 8, 9, and 1. Spots in the order here for Crusens, who have 4 hits on the night, a single by Dickerson, 2 singles by Heller, and then a double from Almaguer.
I'd like to see what the Reds do. We saw the Royals start off with the bunt. We'll see if the Reds do the same thing, or are they going to swing away?
Just out of the edge of your screen, the third baseman Kleist is playing in for Coles. Another great bunt dropped down by Pearson. He might even beat that out. But no, he is thrown out at first, although he was hustling. And Heller is comfortably into third base. Another amazing bunt by Pearson. These guys must practice it, how well they lay some of these down.
Now we'll see everybody in. Look how much in that right fielder is over there. He is very much in.
That's Pashard, who made a nice play to keep a run off the board earlier when Almaguer doubled his first time. That was fair. Would have been the game ender, but missed by about a foot or two. And a hot liner down the right field line.
Winning run at third. Every batted ball right here, the throw will come home.
Almaguer just 2 RBIs on the year, looking for number 3. Swing and miss, and it's 0-2.
Swinging out of his shoes right there. He wanted to end that game.
You don't necessarily need a hit here. Just get the ball in play. Easier said than done, though, against a Josh Caruso that has been rolling here tonight. Curveball high and in.
Yeah,
ball 1.
Like you said, elevate the ball, get it up in the outfield for a sac fly. And with the outfielders playing in, a fly ball could end it just based on how much in the outfielders are playing.
Pitch by Caruso, just missed. He has just been painting the corners, and some of them have been called strikes, some of them have not, and that one was awfully close.
This pitch by Caruso will be 100, the 100th pitch of the game.
2-2 to Almaguer. This one's in play. It's a runner to first. They eye down the runner at third. They tag Almaguer at first, and the all-important runner at third base stays put. Nice job by Dallaire at first.
Dallaire, as soon as he got that ball, He looked back the runner at third and decided just to tag the runner instead of running back to first, which was the correct play right there, because as soon as you turned your back, you know he was going to run off.
Yeah, agreed. That's a very heads-up play there by Delaire, and we, again, seeing great, not only great pitching, but great fielding from both these teams here today, as now it's Jamison Dickerson with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, looking to give the Reds a walk-off win. That one, another breaking pitch right down the middle, and Dickerson just takes it for a strike.
The Crusens Reds 400 hitter looking for another clutch hit on the season.
Heller at third. Sicer got to make sure that one doesn't get to the backstop either. Another great pitch for Caruso, and if you're Dickerson, I think you got to start swinging the bat. I mean, I know it's Caruso, but those were 2 solid and hittable pitches right there. Oh, 0-2 now. What does Caruso have in the bag here? And it hit better. And I'll put Dickerson to board. That runner doesn't really matter for the Royals, so really no harm, no foul there. And that'll bring up Colton Allen, who still a dangerous hitter, although maybe not quite as hot as Dickerson is, though, so
it's still
not the worst thing in the world.
Definitely something you didn't want to have happen, especially with 2 strikes on an 0-2 count. The last thing you wanted to do was hit the guy.
So now it's Colton Allen, the first baseman for the Reds, looking to be the hero. And Dickerson steals second. Yes, padding his stats there. Again, he's not the runner that counts. It's Ethan Heller over at third base. Allen looks at a strike. Oh, 0-2. Allen with a chance to win it. Caruso, chance to put up his 8th straight scoreless inning. Here's the 0-2. Strike 3 looking. Strikeout number 10 of the night for Caruso. We're on to the 9th in this marathon game. How about both pitchers? Brady Bolin and Josh Caruso put a runner on second base with no outs. It doesn't matter.
You're witnessing, I'll say it again, what I tweeted out earlier. PSML, P stands for Peoria, but it also stands for pitching. We're headed to the 9th inning, and we still don't have a run.
It'll be 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for the Royals. Kleist, Rigg, and Dunn. So definitely possibility to do some damage there. And the Royals are looking to get out of a bit of a funk.
I saw both managers talking to some of their guys just based off strategy of what on earth are you going to do here with either putting a runner at second, pinch running a guy at second, or talking about the pitchers too. Do you bring Caruso out for the next inning? There's a lot to talk about because now he's over 100 pitches, but Caruso's been there, done that. Just a lot of things to talk about as it'll be Gil Pochard, the runner at second base for the Royals, and Gavin Kleist will be the batter.
And Royals looking to end a 3-game losing skid that's included a 17-4 loss to Firehouse, a 2-zip loss to Miller Lite, and a 10-2 loss to Miller Lite. That was part of a doubleheader back on Sunday. So I'd like to get a win against a pretty solid Reds team here before the playoffs.
And now we'll see if they're going to bunt just like they did last inning.
Kleist again, though, the cleanup hitter, has a big bat. Has 7 doubles, 8 RBIs on the year. 9 strikeouts, 5 walks. Former Pekin Dragon versus former Limestone Rocket, and that one's got to hurt for Kleist, who fouled that one off of his leg. I will say, Brock, I think this might be our second or third extra innings game we've broadcasted this year with the PSML, but this might be the first one where we've gone 9 innings. I think most of the other ones, at least I've been a part of, have been decided in the 8th, thanks to that new rule. Strike it there against Kleist. That's a tough one to take, but a backwards K, and Bolin gets a strikeout to start the inning.
Yeah, tough one right there. Nine innings. I do remember, I believe we were doing clutch last year for the playoff 12 inning
Yep.
one, but this year, yeah, we've yet to have a 9 inning game. Until tonight, Owen Rigg trying to bring home Gil Pochard at second.
And it goes without saying, but that one goes past the catcher Almaguer, and the runner Pochard will move over to third. That makes things a lot more dangerous here for the Royals, but as I was saying, hits have come at a premium tonight, as just 3 hits for the Royals, I believe. A double by Ogden, single by Kleist, single by Dunn. And I believe just either 4 or 5 hits. Well, double check on that official total for the Reds. That's 4 for the Reds. So 7 hits and 9 innings. Two-one to Rigg. All right down the middle, it gets past the glove of Heller. This is going to put Coles on the board. Pochard comes across, and Owen Rigg stands as the hero right now. The go-ahead RBI single, his 3rd RBI of the year.
Big base hit there by Rigg. Finally, the first run of the game comes in the 9th inning. And now Mikey Dunn, dangerous hitter at the plate, trying to add a couple more for the Royals.
Dunn 1 for 3 and the DH on the night. So I wonder, where's he been in the field? Well, he's not in the field. Just a batter here tonight. Oh, and lets go of his bat. Goes flying towards the Reds dugout. Thankfully, does not hit anyone, but sweaty hands. And he doesn't have any batting gloves on either. That's probably why. He might be getting some from the dugout now.
Either that or pine tar.
He's going to go with the glove. It's Clayton Welker brings it out to him. And that was one thing I did notice about Dunn. Did not have the batting gloves, but by your 4th plate appearance of the night, at that point you might just be testing fate on this very humid July evening. Thankfully, everyone was all right there and no one in huge danger. 1 on, 1 out. And the 1-1. This one chopped to Bolin. Tries to tag him out, but throws him out to spite a head first slide from Dunn into first. I love the effort there. And that is 2 down. The runner moves over to second.
Brings up Colin Delaire. 0 for 3 on the night. A big run at second base. If you're able to cash in another run.
Big swing and miss there, and you're right, Brock. I mean, obviously, Coles feels like they're way ahead right now, even the fact that they just got 1 run. It's just been that type of night, but Crusens, they're going to have a runner on second base with no outs as well. This one popped up to the shortstop, and Funk grabs it. That's out number 3, so The Reds need 1 to keep it going, 2 to win.
And the biggest question is Josh Caruso coming back on the mound? 106 pitches.
We are watching the Royals dugout right now. We see Bouchard coming out. We see Kleist coming out. Rosa has come out. And there he comes. The Grizzled Warrior coming out for inning number 9 with his pitch count over 100. Looking to deliver a big win for the Royals and his first win on the mound of the season. I think that might also play a big factor, too. I think Caruso is probably telling Clayton Welker, hey, I want to finish this off. I got to get a win. Because, again, one more, and he is at 80 for his career, and that ranks him right up near the all-time greats with the PSML. So, due up here for the Reds, it will be Johnson, Busby, and Funk. That's 3, 4, and 5 for the Reds, but combined, those hitters are 0 for 9 on the night.
What? Yeah.
The Weavers Bandits are all here and ready to go for the next game. Many of those players taking in and catching the ending of this one. And Bandits are going to be taking on the Firehouse Pizza Expos. And very much like Crusens, those are two teams that are fighting for position and right in the heart of the PSML standings right now. So runner on second, that's Allen, the first baseman. Caruso steps off and gives him a look. Caruso gives him a look again. Pitch to Johnson. Inside for a ball. Does not appear that the Reds are going to try and drop out a bunt here, although we will see. Johnson, one of the bigger bats in this lineup. Another pitch inside. And Caruso doesn't like that ball. Caruso up to 10 strikeouts on the night. And again, 9 of them have come against the top 4 hitters in the Reds order. Drops in another one there. Beautiful night it's turned into now at the East Side Center. Humidity is not completely gone away, but definitely died down. No wind and no clouds. Johnson fouls that one over to the right side. Big pitch here for Caruso, 2-2. If they can get this first out, feel a lot better about yourself after that. Long look, 2-2, and that is strike 3 right down the middle. And drop third strike, they throw him out at first. Nice toss from Zeiser, and Allen stays put at second base. That one was a tough one to take there if you're Johnson. That ball looked, at least from our angle, we're a little bit off to the right, but that looked right down Broadway to me. I'll bring up Busby now, who pinch hit. His last time up, struck out. And got Funk on deck. Reds trying to avoid their third loss in a row. Another curveball. That one is popped up. It's going to be a long run for the first baseman. Dallaire, he's got it. One former Pekin Dragon pops out to another. And the Reds are now down to their last out, and it's Noah Funk, their shortstop. Caruso has been battling all night long and has not given up a hit.
113 pitches on the night for Caruso.
Has not given up a hit since the 5th. Swinging and missed there. Just a bit of a foul tip there from Funk. Funk could potentially be an all-star this year, but he's not worried about that right now. He wants to give his team the win or at least keep them alive. 0-1 from Caruso. That one sails high. And Allen at first base doesn't have tons of speed, but sure likely would be going if the opportunity presented itself. Try and come around and score on a single. This one is hit well into right field. Going back is Pashard. That's getting to the fence, and that is over the fence. It's a ground rule double, and Noah Funk keeps the Reds alive. And we're tied at 1. Caruso was one pitch away, and Funk says not so fast.
One pitch away. Couldn't get it done. Funk, ground rule double to right field. We are tied up. A winning run at second base, and now Clayton Welker has a big decision on his hand. Looks like Caruso is still going to be out there.
There is action in the Royals bullpen, but LaRoe, he wants to make sure they don't even get there. He could send them home with a single right now. Ball outside, and you knew that. Oh, and the throw got by Caruso, but thankfully for the Royals, it was right up the middle, and Funk does not advance. But that was one of the hardest hit balls, I think, if not the hardest ball we've seen hit all night, Brock. I saved it for the most opportune time. Now LaRoe facing a tiring Caruso. Swing and miss there. LaRoe is 0 for 3 on the night. Popped out to center, struck out, and grounded out to second base. 1-1. This one is popped up. Middle infield. Rosa is under it and has it. 9 innings is not enough. We are going to 10 here in East Peoria. And Brock, again, we still are just barely at 2 hours of game time. This game has been flying by, but we still do not have a winner in this one. So Weavers and Firehouse are going to have to wait just a little bit more.
Yep, they're both here. They both have their lineups written down, but they're just going to have to chill out and sit around and watch this game as we will go to the 10th inning here in this one.
What a series of events. Noah Funk, the game-tying RBI double. Owen Rigg looked like he might be one of the heroes for the Royals, but his RBI was equalized, and I'm sure, Brock, that is likely going to be it for Caruso. Royals will probably turn to the pen coming up here in the 10th. I'd be shocked if he came back out. Not because he has looked bad, but I think at this point of the game, you don't want to roll the dice too much.
He's thrown 119 pitches, so. Runner at second will be
looks like
Colin Dallaire.
It'll be Zeiser to lead it off. So again, bottom of the order for the Royals.
Zeiser 0 for 3 with a strikeout, looking for a big time opportunity right here.
And Bolin overall pretty solid so far. Again, obviously they gave up that RBI single, but other than that, pretty solid after having a pretty small body of work this season coming into this game. We'll see what Zeiser does. Squares to bunt, pulls that back. They're going to dive back in a second. Oh, and they nearly got him. Dallaire got a little greedy. Almost a bit too close for comfort there. See if Zeiser will square again. Step out of the box. Fans are starting to trickle in for the second game, so all of a sudden a large crowd forming here at the East Side Center. Zeiser fouls that one off, and it's 0-2. Not the most ideal bunting situation now. See if they risk trying to put one down. Coker waiting on deck. Zeiser does square. That one taken low. Does square again. Another one low. Staying alive here. 2-2. And Reds 12-10 on the year. Royals 7-15. Both these teams carry small losing streaks coming in tonight. Zeiser gets it down. They're going to try and throw to third. No, Bolin will go to first. Did they get him? Believe they did. Could not see the field umpire from where I was sitting, but or no. Okay, no, Zeiser was out. I was screened out from seeing the field umpire there, but Zeiser does get the job done, and that's what matters for the Royals.
Dallaire at third, one out. They're going to bring the infield in again.
Allen's foot nearly came off that bag at first base, but he got it just by a hair. Coker looks at the ball low and in. Rosa on deck for the Royals. Nice pitch from Bolin. Evens it up at 1-1. Allen brushes the outside corner and it's now 1-2. Coker just looking to put something in play and give Dallaire a chance to score. Allen breaks outside. Huge pitch here from Bolin. That one low, and a nice block there from Almaguer. A strikeout here, Brock, would just be massive. Getting that second out takes a lot of pressure off.
You need to get out here if you're the Reds. Full count.
Coker grounded out his last two times up. 3-2 is lifted into right, and there's Coker's first hit of the season. It puts the Royals in front. He's going for two. He's going to slide in and beat the throw. How about it, Ryan Coker? What a time to come through, and it's now 2-1 Royals here in the top of the 10th. Boy, you just had to feel like it was coming for him. He'd been making solid contact most of the day. And there's that elusive first hit for the Royals' second baseman.
Big time hit by Coker.
And Rosa lifts one into short center. This one could be trouble. Coming in, though, is Dickerson, and he makes the catch.
Coker, big time hit. First hit of the season comes at the biggest time. Giving the Royals the lead here in the top of the 10th inning.
This is a big at-bat here for Ogden, who could give Royals a much-needed third run.
We talked about Ogden being an RBI hitting machine. He's got 16 RBIs on the season, batting .328.
16 RBIs, ranked second in the PSML this year. Pops it up. Pearson, actually, no, that's going to be Funk, the shortstop, coming over, it looks like, and making the catch. But Coker, the RBI double to right. That's where the big hits have been coming, those doubles to right. There's been, I think, 3 of them tonight, so we'll see what Crusens can do to respond. And we'll see who will be coming on the mound here for the Royals.
It's Josh Caruso again, gonna come out to the mound.
How many pitches is he at now?
He is at 119 pitches.
Whew! 119.
9 innings, 11 strikeouts for Caruso. Like we said earlier, I think the only reason why he's out there is for him to get the win, to be 5th all-time in wins in Sunday Morning League history.
And honestly, you might as well. And the only run he's given up was, again, with last inning with that runner started on second base. New rule this year. Nobody out. And he was 1 pitch away from getting the win, too. So thanks to his second baseman, Ryan Coker, he'll get a second crack at it against Ethan Heller, Wyatt Pearson, and Zach Almaguire.
Owen LaRoe is going to be the runner at second base.
And LaRoe's got 3 steals on the year. So something to keep in mind. Crusens has stolen 31 bases on the year. That ranks 4th in the league.
Caruso currently at 78 wins in his career. Coming into the game, he has 17 strikeouts on the season. He has 11 tonight.
Wow. And coming in tonight, he had 17 and 2/3 innings pitches. That one gets away from Zeiser, and now the tying run is at third. Costly mistake there. But, I mean, Caruso is, and probably not going to double both those totals, but, I mean, he's going to raise both of them significantly. His 17 and 2/3 innings pitch he had coming into the night, and also his 17 strikeouts he had as well. Heller with 2 singles on the night. 4th time facing Caruso. That one outside, and it's 2-0. Now the bunt likely not in play for the Reds. But any ball hit to the outfield. Oh, and that one goes inside.
If you guys at home are thinking this is the most pitches we've seen on Clutch Sports Media, you would in fact be wrong.
Yeah, you would.
Carlos Sanabria last year in the playoffs threw 155.
155. That's nearing like softball territory. Strike there. You know those softball pitchers, they can go. Some of them can even throw 150, 100, even more pitches than that in a day because much less strain on your arm, but you never see that in baseball. This one is a looper to center. It gets down, and the Reds have tied it up, and now the winning run stands on first base with Heller's 3rd single of the night, and we got a 2-2 game now in the bottom of the 10th.
Ethan Heller with the lads scream towards his dugout, trying to get him on their feet here. Tie game, winning run at first. Caruso still out on the mound.
Here's Wyatt Pearson, looks at a strike. There is someone throwing in the Royals bullpen. I cannot see who it is. It is a left-hander. Pitch to Pearson, fouls that one right back into the Reds dugout. Man, we had a bat fly in their direction. Now a ball. The sun's been coming in there all game. Tough day to be in the first base dugout if you're the Reds. Pearson, big hanging curve, and fouls that one off out of play. Allgaier on deck. And Pearson looking for his first hit of the night. Drew a walk back in the 5th inning. That one sails high, and nice take there.
Seems like whoever is in the Royals bullpen is loose. They're just watching and waiting.
Looking to see if Caruso can get the job done and just force an 11th inning. That one sails in. Now 2-2.
This pitch will be pitch number 130 for Caruso.
Big one here. Love a ground ball. Pearson fouls that one off again. I'm going to have to, I apologize, I will recycle this line that I used after the Santabria's incredible outing in the playoffs at one time, but I'm going to say that Josh Caruso might have to drive home with his feet because I think his arms might fall off before he gets back in the car.
Good call.
Here's the 2-2 to Pearson.
Oh, wait, Wyatt, good hang.
Another curveball fouled away, and Caruso really trying to rely on that curveball now. It's been so good to him tonight, but you do wonder at this point, some of these Reds have seen it a lot. Maybe starting to kind of get that timing down a little bit more.
The thing I will say about Caruso, he's done this before in the Sunday Morning League.
We would be wrong to doubt him. 2-2. Pearson lifts it to left field. That's a single. And Heller gonna be held up at second. That was singled to right. I think we would be looking at runners on the corners, but the Reds will likely be pretty content with 2 on and nobody out for Zach Allgaier. How much longer will Caruso stay in? The Royal Southpaw is back up and throwing again in the bullpen.
Keeping him out there, 132 pitches.
So slaps his side of his leg with his arm, saying, come on, don't fail me now. He knows he's got it, but he's going to have to bear down to get out of this one. Allgaier, the catcher, is 1 for 3 with a double on the night. Breaking pitch, broke just a bit too late. In for ball 1. Here's 1-0. This one shot back to Caruso, going to go to third. They get the lead runner back over to first. It's a low throw that hopped in the turf. So Allgaier reaches safely, but they do get a very important lead runner there on the fielder's choice.
Fielder's choice, first and second now with 1 out. And still Caruso will be in this game.
Caruso's got, I don't know exactly how tall he is, Brock. He's got a little bit of height to him, it seems. I think he's definitely looks over 6 foot to me, but he's glad he's that tall because that one was a very high chopper, and if he was a few inches shorter, I don't know if he would have got that ball. That could have been an infield single.
Leadoff hitter for the Reds, Jamison Dickerson, as we said earlier, batting .400 on the season.
Yep, 409 to be exact coming into tonight. That might, since it's taken probably a small dip, probably right around 400 as he's 1 for 3 on the night, has been hit by a pitch his
Base
last
hit.
time up. Josh Caruso, 6'5", as our trusty Mark Wagner, also running our research department, pulls up his player profile page from Bradley Athletics. There's a chopper to the left side. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop, Rosa, and no play for him as Kleist crashed in trying to get that one himself, and no one was home at third base. So now the bases are juiced here for Colton Allen. Caruso played for Bradley all the way back in 2005, native of East Peoria.
Brings up Colton Allen 0 for 4 tonight. One hit changes it and wins the game. In corners in.
Outfield looks to be pretty far in as well. Pashard playing a little bit deeper in right. Allen fouls that one out of play to the left side, but the left fielder Rigg and the center fielder Ogden seem to be playing a few paces in. Again,
Up the middle, they're going to play back, potentially for a double play.
boy, would that be big for the Royals, is Caruso's 100 and something pitches outside. 137. Incredible. 1-1. Allen thought about it. Now 2-1.
Think about this too. 2 balls away from the win as well.
Yeah.
A walk ends this game. A hit by pitch ends this game. A wild pitch ends this game.
Got to have the precision of a surgeon here if you're Caruso. And he does right there. Strike 2.
That was a wicked pitch right there. Backed him up.
Now 2-2. Caruso has reached 140 pitches. Can he get another big strikeout here? Fouls it back. Allen just got a piece of it. And Caruso sits at 10 strikeouts on the night. And again, in case you, or 11, excuse me. And again, in case you did not hear Brock earlier, one of just 2 PSML players in league history to have 1,000 career strikeouts.
Great job by Colton Allen there, fouling that one off and on the hands. Just staying alive and battling. 2-2 pitch.
Huge pitch to the Reds' first baseman. Curveball is a bit high, and now it's 3-2. A ball wins it. A hit wins it. But Caruso is also, could also be 1 pitch away from sending this one to the 11th inning. Here's a 3-2. Allen hits this one into center. This one should be deep enough. It'll be Ogden with the throw. It's coming in, and it's not going to be in time or on line. The Reds win it on a walk-off sacrifice fly by Colton Allen to end this marathon in the bottom of the 10th. 3-2. The Reds are your winners in a classic here at Dave Rogers Field.
What a game. That was a unbelievable performance by both teams. Shout out Josh Caruso. Just coming up short. But what a win for the Reds. Hanging on. Moves to 13-10 on the season. It was a great broadcast to be a part of.
It was a lot of fun indeed to watch these two teams go at it. Again, scoreless for all of the first 7 innings. Started the 8th in a 0-0 game, and then both teams alternated runs as they again took advantage of that runner on second base with nobody out. But Again, it was those back-to-back singles by Heller and Pearson. Again, plus that wild pitch that really kind of turned the corner there for the Reds here in this bottom of the 10th. They were able to kind of get a rally going and get enough guys on base, and they pick up a big win as they battle for potentially, again, the highest they can get is the number 3 seed in the PSML playoffs, and as a big step towards potentially getting that. Kohl's falls to 7-16 on the year. They'll have one more game left, and again, look almost a lock to be the number 8 seed going into the playoffs unless Move Smart wins out. But either way, those two teams would face off in the 8 and 9 first round matchup next week in the Sunday Morning League playoffs. So, Brock, I'm looking forward to seeing that bracket come out. Again, just a few more days left of the regular season. But again, this does not mean that we are done at Clutch Sports Media with the PSML season. Well, 4 games, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday coming at you next week, plus all the games from the championship series. So stay tuned to our social media pages, Clutch Sports Media, Facebook and Instagram. You can follow us at Clutch Sports IL on Twitter, or X if you still call it that, or you can go to PSMLBaseball.com. You can get a look at the standings, the bracket coming up, and we'll be announcing what games we'll be doing next week as we get deeper into July. But, Rock, any final thoughts from this one tonight?
It was just a great game, great broadcast to be a part of. Crazy 10-inning marathon. As you said, it was a marathon. And looking forward to more games on Clutch Sports playoffs right around the corner. It's going to be hectic.
It will indeed. But for right now, Colton Allen sends the Reds home a winner in extra innings, 3-2 here in PSML baseball action. Again, thank you for joining us tonight and making us a part of your Tuesday night. We'll see you next week here on ClutchSportsIsle.com for more Peoria Sunday Morning League Baseball. For Brock Alkire, Mark Wagner, Bryson Higgins, I'm Jonathan Michael saying so long, good night. We'll see you for more baseball coming up soon here on CSM.